Hello, everybody. My name's Toby. I know what you're thinking. Can we have that nice Izaz Muhammad bloke back who did such a wonderful vlog last week? Fantastic. Thanks so much, Izaz, for standing in. I'm going to talk about a few upcoming moments or events, things that are happening in the organisation. I guess a few of those things will repeat things I've said over the last 6 months. I'm mentioning that not because it's boring, but because it's consistent. And I think sometimes predictability can be good, I guess, unless you're trying to qualify your team through a football tournament. I've got general election next week. More importantly, we've got the annual members meeting on July the 20th. But in betwixt and between that, we've got a couple of upcoming dates. On the 1st of July, we start with our new push around health-based place of safety. All the way across South Yorkshire and North Lincolnshire, we're trying to operate to a standard where no fellow citizen spends more than 24 or a maximum of 36 hours within that special protected and secluded space. Really, really important as an organisation that we make the changes necessary before people get to a Section 136 suite and when we're working with them within it to meet that mark that we have decided to try and work with. It will make such a difference to access for the most vulnerable patients in our community who are sometimes denied the availability of a health-based place of safety because somebody else has been with us for several weeks. So July the 1st, I know it won't be easy, it won't come overnight, but we are absolutely trying to get to a point where Section 136 suites are just for the day and the night, just for 24 hours. And the following Monday is July the 8th. And on July the 8th, we implement those changes around access to agency options that I've talked to you about before in this blog. As an organisation, we are ending the use of agency. There are a very small number of circumstances where myself, Richard Chillery, or a very small number of other colleagues will agree to the exceptional use of agency employment, but we are looking to move away. So if you're listening to this and you work for us on an agency basis, thank you for your service. We appreciate it. Please get yourself onto an NHS contract or onto the bank, or we won't be able to carry on employing you. If you're listening to this and you sometimes have to make decisions about staffing, make sure you are familiar with the new rules, the new arrangements. We are determined to eliminate agency use in this organisation by the turn of the year and see a massive difference come August and September in how we work. Now, of course, those changes are the sorts of things that then allow us to pay for the things that we've talked about in the last few vlogs, whether it's the exciting investment at Grey Oaks, what's going to be happening around each of our wards in terms of doors and ligature, whether it's the investment at Tick Hill Road in terms of moving Hazel and Hawthorne in due course, or the expansion of the learning disabilities team in North Links, the investment in the complex emotional needs pathway, investment too in our MARAC arrangements. All of those things have to be paid for from somewhere, and the agency changes are a big part of that. I was about to say there's no magic money tree, but of course, the reality is that this time last year, we were planting all of those trees and rose bushes to celebrate the NHS's birthday. And I'm delighted that they are flourishing so wonderfully. Ian Higgins would want me to point out that 2 have died, but I think that's a win for me, given the British weather. As we go through July, we're going to see the Trust People Council meet for the first time. What's that, you might ask? The TPC. Well, the TPC will bring together a variety of leaders in our organisation. People who head up our Consultant Gene Doctors Committee, people who are involved with the FTSE arrangements, our trade union colleagues, and people who run our staff networks, together with the chair and vice chair of the trust, myself and Carleen. And that TPC will have the same status as a board subcommittee and will very directly give the board insight into how people are feeling, what people are thinking, and the culture of the organisation. So a really big step up in voice in our organisation. We'll be looking at things like IR1s. We'll be looking at things like the staff survey. We'll be paying attention to FTSE. The latest staff pulse survey comes out on the 1st of July. We'll be looking at that kind of data. You can have a look on the screen at how you can fill that survey in. So thank you to those people who are going to be giving up their time every quarter to participate in TPC. And I think it's a really good balance between the focus we've got with our strategy on the voices of our patients and TPC providing a real voice for colleagues and people who work in and across our organisation. Talking of patient voice, Care Opinion is now live in many parts of our organisation. By October, it will replace the existing paper-based arrangements with a new online system, which has been shown to be effective in other community and mental health organisations in the NHS. I'm really excited about that deployment. What it means is people will be able to get an answer much more quickly than they currently do when they offer us some feedback or give us their opinion. At the same time, James and the team in health informatics have done some brilliant work getting us ready to be able to communicate differently with our patients in terms of sending out letters, booking appointments, and so on and so forth. You're going to be hearing lots more about that as we go through July. There's a real permeability emerging, a breaking down the boundaries between our organisation and the communities that we work within. And as you'll gather, I'm really excited to see that coming to fruition. It's a big part of some of those promises that we tend to talk about in this blog. Now, I'm not going to jinx the football by mentioning it, not going to jinx the cricket by mentioning it. Reminder that still an opportunity if you're feeling a little bit sport deprived to get involved in the rounders at the AMN. Thank you ever so much for listening to this vlog. And you're absolutely right. From July, I'll start banging on about flu vaccination once again. You've been warned. Cheers.